Everyone has a story inside of them, a story waiting to be told and heard. Sakadel is one of such stories, and it is told in colorful, humorous, and poignant language, a sing-song writing of lyrical prose birthed in a collection of witty short stories. Sakadeli's poetry is evocative and his prosaic undertones are daredevil. The 244-page masterpiece is scripted in a multi-layered dimension, interlocking everyday personalities with uncomfortable situations through characters living the savoir-faire life. As society will put it, they are politically correct, imperfect lives. Sakadeli's characters own their sorrows as well as their joys, their disappointments as well as their exhilarations. But out of these experiences, many en route to literal and metaphorical mountaintops or valleys, comes a melting pot of self-awareness, acceptance, and yes, wisdom, all of which make Sakadeli such a powerful read. Joining us now to talk about this groundbreaking publication is Uri Ngozichukwuka, communication consultant and author, and she will be talking to us a bit more about the storyline of the book, which has achieved some acclaim as part of the Library of Congress collections in the United States. Uri Ngozichukwuka, welcome to the Morning Show. Thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, I won't be able to contribute much to this conversation. I'll listen more to. I have a PhD in theory and criticism with a bias in literature. I don't comment on books that I have not read. So I would like to welcome you again, and then you just tell us what the book is all about, and then I will try to follow. As a trained critic, I cannot comment on a book I have not read, but I will read it, and maybe you have another opportunity to be on the program, and we can discuss it professionally.
Okay.
But what is the book all about?
Well, the book is all about, like you read in the intro, it's really all about our experiences and conversations, the deep conversations we rarely have. And I believe in conversations because when you have deep conversations, you're able to develop empathy. So it's about the deep conversations that we need to have with each other. Then the conversations we also need to have with our society, with our children, with our friends. It's also about life, looking at life, humorously, right? But at the same time, looking at the depth of the seriousness of all the kinds of experiences, that we go through. Sakadeli is not a book that condemns. Sakadeli is a book, that, throws a lot of issues out there on the table, issues that sometimes, we do not want to delve into. And yeah, so that's what it is all about. And then the style is written in verse. It's a novel in verse. And that's about poetry and prose put together. That's because of my inclinations, to write poetry and prose, and sometimes songs. And so, yes, we're telling the story, but then we're trying to make it as light as possible, but the issues are really very deep. And so if you pick up a topic, well, I'll probably talk about it. Okay. And like I said, it's a novel in verse. Of course, we've had a little bit of the poetry performed as well, that you'll probably get to watch that, as the program goes on, and the song as well, from it.
I mean, I see some themes. I'm not ready to inform myself.
Okay.
I see some themes in there by just trying to photo read it. I saw themes on Biafra. Can you tell me what the storyline is all about as it segues to that part, setting captain that served in the Biafran army?
Okay, right. I thought that because we had to create a character, Sakadeli, who was telling the story. And it's a fiction, but at the same time, a lot of the experiences there, they're actually real and true. Now, the story of the Biafra, what caught me was when she was talking about how she learned to read or to recite, "The Lord is my shepherd," during Biafra. And the reason why she learned to do that, she was just about 4. How did she learn to do that? Because her mother and her teachers, they were being taught under the tree, to keep the children safe because the bombers were flying all over. And so they were under the tree. And so whenever the bombers begin or the jet fighters begin to fly across, so the women and the children and the teachers, will go around the tree. The only way they knew, to protect the children was just to read "Our Father, the Lord is my shepherd, hallowed be thy name," and all that. And, and so, because that happened too often, right, she was able to learn, how to read. For her, and all the other children, they were just like, "Oh yeah, this is the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want again." And I found that really, it was really touching. It was really very, like very, very touching, But then at the same time, I saw the vulnerability of women and children, in a conflict, situation as well. So I tried to bring that in.
Well, if we were to read from the book, which will be your favorite chapter? And I would like to ask you, for the benefit of our viewers, to read a part of the book, so that they can get a feel of what this novel in verse is all about.
It's all about, okay. There are just so many aspects.
Take a copy of the book and read for our viewers too.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me do, because I Am Enough is on the screen. And because I actually had some, like performances that have come, out of I Am Enough, both as a song. And let me do that. Or why don't I do this? Stylish, beautiful, lively, desired, truthful. I am Sakadel. That's the intro. Life is about how you see it, how you interpret it, your attitude towards it, how you build every day, how you love every day, how you laugh and love and learn, which you must every day. What people call difficulties and hardness, challenges, I, Sakadel, call drama. And I confess that I have seen not just a few indeed. My life is buffeted with drama, but then they do not take away the sparkle in my eyes, the bounce in my steps, the softness of my heart, the smile on my face, the openness of my arms to share the little or next to nothing, yet valuable that I have, value that dwarfs money. Now, I'd like to stop here. Value that dwarfs money. For me, I had to put that because we live in a society today that a lot of value has been thrown under the bus. And this is the intro, actually. And this is Sakadel introducing herself. And yes, she talks about all the things that she's gone through. And basically what I was trying to bring out is no matter what it is that we have gone through, right, we shouldn't in any way compromise our value system. We should not, sort of sacrifice our value on the altar, of, hardships and everything. And so value that dwarfs money. For me, I believe and I hope that, the society that we have right now, that will be able to, bring back value and put value on the table and not under the table. Because, yeah.
Right. I just quickly wanted, part of the things I saw while I was photo reading was the theme on sexuality and how that segues into society.
Sexuality. What?
Yeah. I was...
well, there was... Okay, let me say
this. The Virginity Dialogue.
Yeah, the Virginity Dialogue. Well, there's a lot of... Sakadel is published in the United States. It's published for 18 and above. And I think that's because of the themes, that I chose to explore. And yes, I did explore a lot of sexuality. I did explore issues on masturbation, virginity, yes, and of course motherhood and others. So yes, so if you talk about sexuality, which particular area? Okay, let me talk about Virginity Dialogue. The Virginity Dialogue basically, is that dialogue that we as women and girls, we hardly have that, like that kind of dialogue with our mothers. As a young girl, when you're growing up, I'm not sure, people watching me now or women watching me, I'm not sure that, you have this really, really, like close, dialogue with your mother, about the virginity, the preservation. But for us women, like once you see your period, and I'm sure every woman can, identify with this, the first thing you're told is don't go near a boy, you get pregnant. And that was lack of sex education, And for us, that was the best, our mothers could do then, And so I was just, like talking about this dialogue that we really need to have, with young girls, we really need to let them know that, it's very important, self-preservation is really, really very important, yes.
Well, let me ask you, why literature? The writing of books in Nigeria doesn't bring money.
Yes.
I'm sure there is something else that you do apart from writing. So why is writing attractive to you? What do you do ordinarily? And then you are here at a time we're celebrating Nigeria at 60.
Yes.
And you just talked about values.
Yes.
That's one of the issues in the president's broadcast yesterday. I would like to have your comment on how Nigeria has managed with values, ethical values.
Well, like I said, the opening of the book, that's why I started it with value that dwarfs money. We have, like I said, we have sacrificed our values on the altar, of money. Money seems to take over everything, and for me, it's really sad. And that's why I actually had to start, with this. Because Sakadel, yes, is a book that goes everywhere, but at the end of the day, it's actually a book, that drops, all kinds of, values, system and things, that, look, we shouldn't be doing this. This is what we should be doing and all that. Yes, for us in the country, it's really, I must say this, in 60 years, let's not get that wrong. We have shown the world that we have great doctors, we have great scholars, we have great intellectuals. We've shown the world that, look, when it comes to entertainment, we are good at it. We have thrown out our very best in 60 years, right? But at the same time, we have also shown the world that we probably may not be able to manage, our leadership very well as well. So I would believe that, after 60 years, we may have just been done with a lot of, will I say, a lot of leadership that's not so good, and maybe from this time, going forward, would be able to, harness, good leadership, because I believe that we really do have the best. We don't really need anybody to come tell us, who to take care of us or who to lead us, but we still have the best. Just as we have shown the world that we have best doctors, best students, intellectuals, we also have best leaders. We just need them to rise up and to come to the fore.
As to why literature?
Okay, why literature?
Because this is supposed to be part of a series, right?
Yes, yes. Now, let me say this. Okay, fine, I'm a communications consultant, I'm a content entrepreneur and all that, yes. But I was writing, I've written articles and poetry, just, freely and all that. But I met, like a friend who kept on telling me, you should write a book, you should write a book. And everybody keeps telling me, oh, okay, you should write a book. But I never thought much of it. And so on the 9th of December, I'm very specific about the date, 9th of December 2018, I just heard this voice, come and write a book. And I just went, and in 6 weeks, I had written 3 books. That's it. So it's not as if I've been writing, working hard, I want to write this book. No. And so it just came out. And then, when it got to my publishers in America, they were like, wow, you're writing in verses. And I'm like, okay, I sing, I write songs, and I didn't know that it was going to reflect in my writing, and so that is it.
So you had a special visitation from the muse.
I think so. I had a no. I'm not even about to sit down here to say, oh, I'm one great author and I've been writing.
But
this is
how do our viewers who are interested in Sakadel, how do they get copies?
Okay. Well, Sakadel is in the stores. It's actually in Terraculture. It's in Rovan Heights. Yes, it's in Jazz Hall here on our world. But of course, it's on Amazon. Yes, it's on Amazon. It's on Google Books. It's on iBooks. Okay. Yeah, Barnes and Noble. It is there.
But Sakadeli, Sakadelio is from a song from the famous.
Oh no, that's where it came from actually.
Apparently,
exactly. Sakadeli has helped told the story.
Thank you very much, Uri.
Thank you very, very much
for joining us on the Morning Show.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the best.
Yes,
with the book, with the sight and sound of it.
Yes, thank you.